All right, take 75. I want to wish everyone the best of the best for next year. Lots of profits. But nonetheless, yesterday was a trading session, so we gotta recap, decode some value, see what was going on, if anything made sense. So yeah, let's go. Right. Recap of the last session of the year. 2025 is wrap. Let's get into it. No time to lose. Profiles. See what we got. So on the weekly, we opened up right before the open on the prior weekly point of control. We basically opened up right here. After we lost the low value, we tried to trade back inside of it towards the point of control. The prior weekly point of control, which basically is also the whole point of control of this whole composite here, and we rejected that upon open, which was a strong indication that price was looking for the current lows and potentially lower, as it's doing right now. On the daily, so this was the prior session, Tuesday. Market opens up, Asia sells off, and then London is about to close, and then we start ripping back up, opening up out of value but in range. So we basically having a high probability of rejecting value, and then look for new lows, and or we accept back into value and then trade towards the upside. That were the two plays to be made, in my opinion. Market opened up out of value, immediately sells off down the prior range low. That gave a good indication for me to trade towards some structure and the lows. I did so on a XFA on a Top Step account. Might show it in a minute, we'll see. But that was the idea for me. Let's see if that made sense on an entry chart. So before open, as usual, I do like to just watch a 15-minute naked chart, and I just look for swings, swing highs, swing lows, to gauge a bias from. So I do like to, if price opens here, I do like to usually find the closest swing points. So if price opens up here, it's basically gonna be this high or this high, one of those two, and then to the low side, this here. But that didn't give me any information in this scenario, so I used prior swing points. I used the swing point from the bounce, and I used a swing point from a level that it broke prior. So market opens up. Profile wise, it was giving me the sign that we were potentially rejecting value. So market opens up on this red line here. Market sells off. This is where I started going short. My stop was above here, expecting or anticipating price selling off from value and look for lower prices. So the idea here that gave me the confidence in doing so fairly aggressively was poor structure. So the market opens up. I think someone here. Yeah, right on the confirmation candle right there. Market opens up here. It's poor structure, so there's nothing to trade from. We're already trading inside of a liquidity grab, as you can say. So any signs of weakness combining, we are potentially rejecting value from the prior session, losing the prior range low. I took this short here with the idea that price would revisit prior structure, that swing point, and have some sort of reaction here. So I went short there, waited for the close, waited for the retest, then started trailing break even. I was anticipating what's happening here is if price leaves a range, it's looking for liquidity, right? If price doesn't reject that range and it drops back into that range, its job, in my opinion, is this is a liquidity grab, turns into a liquidity grab, meaning a trade towards the opposite side of liquidity is in play. So that was the whole idea behind the whole setup, using the price action and the swing points here, and then the narrative from the volume profiles, and then also zooming in using the 1 minute with the big trades to look for absorption. Yeah, so on a 1 minute here, that looks like the opening price here. Price opens up, immediately sells off the prior range low. We trade back up, we reject the opening price, we sell off from this, draw back into that sweep zone here. We start rejecting top side of it, was looking really good for short side here. Went to the lows. I still wasn't trailing tighter. My stop was kind of break even here. I wanted to swing or trail when price gave me a stronger high to trail. For example, what do I mean with that? So we basically created a low here. Price bounces. Again, rejecting that sweep high level. I was waiting for this low to get wicked or start trading below, to then start trailing one way tighter on this high, low, and or if I really wanted to trail out, which I did, started trailing really tight here because I didn't want to see a sweep of those lows and then a rebound to the other side of the range. So that was happened. That was a nice play. I also went long after we swept the low side here, fairly aggressive here on the low. We swept that high, saw the buyer step in or the sellers getting trapped. It was a big order, 160 orders, market orders. I got trapped there, immediately reversed. I went long of that and I held that position for I think 2 hours, way too long. I was anticipating a move back to the top of the range here, which it eventually did. I held on to it. So I was long from here and I went out after we wicked. The first time we wicked above this structure, I started trailing really tight. I was expecting an explosion. I should have been way more patient with that move, but yeah, this was like 2 hours of price action. I was done. Regardless, that was a nice move too. To close up the year. Yeah, maybe see if I can pull up top step. All right. So basically you gotta look at it like this. This is one of that swing high points. Actually the bounce here, this was an important level for me, and then the low. So go short here, took profits here after we swept that level for the first time. Then eventually went long after we swept that low with the trapped sellers here, expecting price to regain this range and then to trade towards the other side of that range. I just got out a little bit earlier here on that stop. It was a good play nonetheless, and then I went away. Yeah, it's a bit sad because this was a kind of a nice move, but yeah, I was done. It was not a bad, not a bad day at all. Anyway, that wraps it up for the last session of the year recap. Tomorrow we probably not be trading, and then this weekend we will do the weekly decode of the profile. Maybe we'll do a live session to be seen. Yeah, so that's that for this year. On to the next one. Let's get that bag.